The world does not care about your dreams. It does not care about your feelings, your hopes, or your excuses. It rewards strength. It kneels before power, and it crushes the weak mercilessly. You have two choices: remain a servant to fear, comfort, and mediocrity, or rise as something greater. Not a man, not a follower, but a force. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this. He wrote not about morality, but about power. He knew that to rule a man must appear unbreakable, because weakness is a disease that infects respect, loyalty, and fear. And respect, loyalty, and fear are the currencies of kings. You were not born to shuffle quietly through life, begging for scraps of approval. You were not built to live and die forgotten. Inside you burns the same fire that built empires, crushed armies, and bent history to its will. But that fire has been buried under comfort, fear, and self-betrayal. It is time to tear the chains off, to strangle the weakness inside you, to awaken the God within and become the strongest version of yourself, ruthless, disciplined, unstoppable. The question is simple: will you rise or remain a slave? Machiavelli would tell you this without hesitation. Before you can rule anything, you must first destroy the weakling living inside you. The world is not holding you back. You are that soft voice in your head that says, "Stay safe, don't offend, please everyone." That voice is the enemy. That is the servant you must kill. Every man is born into chains. They are not iron or steel, but they are far stronger. They are invisible. They are made of guilt, fear, and the desperate need for approval. From childhood, you are taught to obey, to smile, to wait for permission before acting. You are told to make yourself small, so others will be comfortable. But comfort is the enemy of greatness, and obedience is the enemy of power. The masses are terrified of ambition. When they see someone hungry, relentless, unafraid to seize what he wants, they call him selfish, arrogant, even evil, laugh. These are not insults, they are badges of honor. When weak men curse your strength, it means you are on the right road. The first step in awakening the God within is to stop living like a servant. Stop bowing to opinions. Stop explaining your every decision to people who have no power over their own lives. Stop apologizing for wanting more than an ordinary existence. When you live for approval, you live as a prisoner. A lion does not ask the sheep for permission to hunt. Why then should you ask the mediocre for permission to rise? The self you are forging, the cold, disciplined, unstoppable version of you, answers to no one. He is above petty judgment. He does not kneel. He does not ask. He decides. But how do you kill the slave inside you? Not with speeches, but with the blade of action. Begin by defying the little fears you carry every day. The fear of rejection, the fear of criticism, the fear of being misunderstood. If you tremble when others disapprove of you, they already own you. Refuse to explain yourself. Let them call you cold. Let them call you ruthless. Let them call you dangerous. Good. You are becoming what they secretly wish they had the courage to be. This internal execution will not happen overnight. You will feel the slave resist. It will whisper, "Play nice. Be agreeable. Don't make enemies." But greatness requires enemies. If no one resents you, you have never stood for anything. A man who never offends anyone has no power because he has no spine. Power begins where excuses end. When you crush that inner servant, you no longer ask, "Am I allowed?" You decide. You no longer wonder, "Will they like me?" You no longer care. You no longer live by the rules of sheep. You live by the law of lions. And when that shift happens, when you stop bowing and start ruling yourself, the world feels it instantly. People look at you differently. Some with admiration, others with hatred, many with fear. Good fear is respect wearing a mask, and the God within you would rather be feared than ignored. Without will, you are a reed in the wind bending to every pressure. With will, you become iron. The God within you is not born out of chaos. He is not a product of luck or emotion. He is forged deliberately through discipline so relentless it terrifies those who live in comfort. Most men talk about ambition. Few master themselves enough to realize it. Your will must become your sword. Every day you sharpen it. Wake when you say you will, not when you feel like it. Work when you are exhausted. Finish what you start, even if your entire body protests. Weak men negotiate with themselves. They look for permission to quit. Strong men issue commands to themselves and obey. If you cannot rule yourself, you cannot rule anything. Discipline is not a prison. It is liberation. The masses live as slaves to their whims. They eat when they are bored, scroll when they are restless, chase fleeting pleasures, and then they wonder why their lives are small. You, on the other hand, deny yourself weakness so you can take what you truly desire. Every moment of discomfort you choose is a deposit into your future power. Fortune, like a wind, respects the vessel that is built tight. Audacity without structure capsizes. Audacity with structure conquers. Build the structure. Yet muscle and will are not enough. Power without vision is a sword swung in the dark. The God within you must not only be strong, but strategic. Rulers fail not because they lack courage, but because they lack perspective. They live blinded by emotion, distracted by noise, enslaved by the same illusions that chain ordinary men. The masses think horizontally. They see only what is directly in front of them. The next pleasure, the next distraction, the next crisis. You must learn to think vertically. Rise above the noise. See the battlefield from a tower while others grope in the mud. How? Build your mind as deliberately as you build your body. Feed it with knowledge that sharpens, not numbs. Study history's rulers, generals, and thinkers. Study strategy as if your life depends on it, because it does. Human nature never changes. Only the costumes do. A prepared mind sees betrayals before they happen, and opportunities before they appear obvious. Most people are intoxicated by comfort and amusement. They drown in entertainment, gossip, and empty pleasures. Their minds grow dull, predictable, slow. But the God within you is immune to such poison. He is sober when others are drunk on distraction. While they waste hours, you sharpen weapons, reading, learning, observing. Avoid the thinking of the herd. They are ruled by anger, fear, and envy, which makes them easy to manipulate. Do not share their addictions. If they chase trends, ignore them. If they panic, stay calm. If they worship false idols, remain skeptical. This detachment is power. When others are confused, you will see clearly. When others are blind, you will see further. Ruthless honesty with yourself is the price of that vision. Ask, where am I weak? Where am I being manipulated? What am I refusing to see? Because it is uncomfortable. Answer without mercy and correct without delay. Imagine yourself as a chess master while others are pawns reacting move by move. The God within you does not react. He predicts, plans, and controls. Your intelligence must become a fortress no enemy can breach. When your knowledge is deep, when you understand human nature at its core, you become untouchable. No lie can fool you. No trick can catch you off guard, because you have already studied the pattern 1,000 times. Learn not only from victories, but also from disasters. Study failure, betrayal, and collapse in others and in yourself, so you can destroy them before they destroy you. Many were strong in body, but blind in mind. They rose quickly without vision and fell faster. Be both warrior and philosopher. Move with wisdom as much as force. Strength and intellect are worthless if no one can feel them. The God within you must not remain hidden. He must radiate power. Appearances matter. Men judge not by truth, but by what they see. If you seem weak, you are weak. If you seem untouchable, they will treat you as such. Your presence must speak before your mouth opens. When you walk into a room, heads should turn, not because you are loud, but because your very being says this. One does not bow. People must feel it in the way you move, the way you stand, the way you meet their gaze without blinking. Appear strong when fortune turns against you. Why? Because weakness is blood in the water. If others sense hesitation, they attack. If they sense unshakable calm, they doubt themselves. Power is not just what you have. It is what people believe you have. Project authority. Speak less. But when you do, Make every word carry weight. Do not rush to fill silence. Let others drown in it. Move slowly. Use deliberate gestures. Hold steady eye contact. These are not theatrical tricks. They are signals of inner control. They tell the world, I do not need your approval. You need mine. Even your clothing, your tone, your manner make them intentional. A man who appears careless is treated carelessly. A man who carries himself like a ruler is treated like one. Do not confuse presence with noise. Shouting does not make you powerful. It makes you desperate. True power is quiet, calm, and certain. When others rage, remain still. When others rush to impress, stand back and observe. That unshakable calm is unsettling because it is rare. You have burned the slave. You have forged your will into iron. You have built a mind above the crowd and a presence that commands respect. Now comes the sovereign law. A man who cannot rule himself is unworthy of ruling anything. The God within you is not merely strong, disciplined, and intelligent. He is sovereign. He bows to no one, not even to his own weaknesses. This is the final transformation. Self-mastery so complete that power over others becomes a byproduct, not a pursuit. Once you command yourself, the world begins to align around you. People follow you not because you beg for loyalty, but because your strength is undeniable. They trust your judgment because you never waver. They fear your disapproval because you cannot be manipulated. You become the axis around which others rotate, and you do not need to ask. But sovereignty draws enemies. Envy rises. Betrayal brews. The higher you climb, the more people will scheme to drag you down. Weak men resent strength because it reminds them of their own failure. Do not grow complacent. Vigilance is the price of greatness. Stay sharp. Stay unpredictable. Never let others map your moves. If they expect mercy, be ruthless. If they expect ruthlessness, be merciful. But only when it serves your purpose. Keep them guessing. A man who is entirely predictable invites plots. A man who is unreadable terrifies conspirators. And remember, power that is real does not need applause. A lion does not ask for compliments on his roar. Act not for validation, but because it is your nature to rule. Understand this clearly now. The evil trait that controls luck is audacity. Not cruelty, not malice. Audacity. The world calls it evil because it exposes the timid. Audacity steps first. Audacity seizes the gap. Audacity refuses to wait for permission. It is the willingness to take reputational risk for strategic gain, to bear misunderstanding today to become unavoidable tomorrow. Fortune favors the bold, yes, but boldness without preparation is suicide. Translate the maximant. Prepared audacity bends fortune. How do you wield audacity without becoming reckless? Tie it to a trinity: preparation, timing, and concealment. Prepare so thoroughly your move looks like magic. Time your move so precisely it feels inevitable. Conceal your preparation so completely your strike seems spontaneous. This is how audacity bends fortune. You do not wait for perfect moments. You manufacture them. You do not ask for open doors. You make doors open because denying you costs the world more than admitting you. You do not pray for permission. You create a reality so competent that refusal appears foolish. Audit your life with cruel clarity. Where are you waiting for permission? Where are you calling paralysis patience? Where are you calling fear prudence? Where are you calling procrastination planning? Tear off the masks, rename your delays with their true names and kill them. Replace them with decisive habits. Make the call, make the pitch, ask the question, set the boundary, take the shot, take the blame, take the lesson, try again. You will feel your pulse rise. Good. That is the sound of luck bending. Guard against the three assassins of audacity: the need to be liked, the addiction to drama, and the worship of certainty. The need to be liked turns lions into house cats. Cure it with boundaries and the calm willingness to be misunderstood. The addiction to drama turns strategy into noise. Cure it with boring routines that produce violent results. The worship of certainty turns opportunity into regret. Cure it with probabilities. You do not need guarantees to act. You need evidence weighted by consequences. Learn to think in odds. Place small bets that can grow huge. Cap downside. Let upside breathe. Remember, fortune is fickle with the passive and loyal to the relentless. Give her something to ride, a project in motion, a reputation for delivery, a schedule that honors deadlines more than moods. Become the person for whom it is rational to say yes. That is how doors open by accident. Be early, be exact, be consistent. And when the opening appears, be audacious. Ask for the bigger agreement. Move to the front row. Offer the solution at full price. Volunteer for the impossible. And then, make it look inevitable. The world will call you lucky. You will know better. In the end, you will be called many names. Obsessive, cold, extreme, relentless, evil. Accept them. They are the vocabulary of the comfortable trying to describe the committed. Let the timid debate tone while you accumulate leverage. Let the jealous invent narratives while you collect results. Let the small-minded promise to start when the time is right, while you make time answer to you. The trait that controls luck is the resolve to act before you are ready, to act longer than is pleasant, to act again after others have surrendered. That resolve is audacity in motion. What have you learned? Weakness is a decision. Willpower is a muscle. Strategy is a height. Presence is a weapon. Audacity is the lever that moves fortune. Rule yourself, and luck will kneel. Now choose one weakness and destroy it today. Choose one discipline and master it this week. Choose one goal and pursue it without mercy until it is yours. Step by step, brick by brick, hour by hour, build the empire of yourself. When they call you cold, nod. When they call you ruthless, smile. When they say you have changed, agree. That was the point. Act before you feel ready. Feeling ready is the last mask fear wears. Cut one indulgence per day. Convert that time into deliberate practice. Ignore applause. Measure progress by promises kept to yourself. Move first on imperfect information. Refine while advancing, not before. Speak once, clearly, and stop. Let silence do the heavy lifting. Ask for more than is polite. The world pays the price of your certainty. Walk into difficult rooms. Posture follows posture. Power follows posture. Refuse vague requests. Demand specifics or decline without guilt. Choose allies by reliability, not charm. Warmth cannot replace weight. Say no without biography. Boundaries need no backstory. Finish ugly. Finished ugly beats perfect imaginary every time. Reduce notifications to almost zero. Control inputs to control outputs. Replace gossip with reading. Collect leverage, not opinions. Take cold responsibility. Excuses are stories that steal momentum. Keep a visible scoreboard. What gets measured hardens into habit. Practice hard conversations until your pulse stops spiking. Train something daily that burns. Teach your body obedience. Guard your name. One broken promise ruins 1,000 sentences. Price your access. Scarcity clarifies respect. Hold eye contact until the other person looks away first. Let standards speak for you. Less talk, more terms. Audit your circle quarterly. Proximity is a policy, not an accident. Cut the brag. Stack the receipts. Build systems that work on your worst day, not just your best day. Arrive early and unhurried. Calm is an advertisement for competence. Choose one obsession and design your calendar around it. Write daily. Precision of language forges precision of thought. Assume nothing is private. Act accordingly and sleep clean. Keep your promises boring and your results dramatic. Ask the hard question in the first 5 minutes. Never threaten. Either do it or forget it. Do not correct cheap insults. Correction is a status gift. Give credit widely. Hoarding praise shrinks your stage. Take blame quickly. It confuses enemies and galvanizes allies. Operate on clear deadlines. Vague timeframes breed vague effort. Build an option to walk away. Leverage is freedom disguised as choice. Separate feelings from decisions. Feelings inform. Decisions command. Refuse last-minute discounts on your standards. Default to confidentiality. Mysteries magnetize. Practice stillness. A steady pulse is the rarest flex. Avoid noisy victory laps. Let outcomes echo. Accept boredom. Boredom is the tunnel to mastery. Define success with verbs, not nouns. Become, do, build, serve. Learn the game above the game. Study incentives, not intentions. Set traps for your own laziness. Automation is self-defense. Over-prepare your first move and improvise your third. Build an identity that survives losses. Audacity needs a chassis. When in doubt, choose the path that increases your options. Never beg a gatekeeper. Become valuable to the gate. Carry yourself as if you will be quoted. You will be. Use short sentences. Sharp language cuts through fog. Leave some messages unanswered. Your silence is also a message. Focus on asymmetric bets, small risk, oversized upside. Replace outrage with outcomes. Anger adds heat, not light. Keep your desk clear. A clean surface accelerates decisions. Treat your calendar like a treaty. Violations have costs. Master the pause. The second you do not spend reacting becomes strategy. Practice refusal in private so it arrives smooth in public. Let people underestimate you quietly. Surprise is compound interest. Collect mentors by delivering value up front, not by asking for it. Take the stairs when others queue for the elevator. Speed is a habit. Memorize your principles and improvise everything else. Accept uneven days without drama. Show up again tomorrow. Separate reputation from popularity. The former pays, the latter consumes. Never apologize for high standards. Apologize for low ones. Hold a weekly council with your future self. Adjust course without mercy. Choose craftsmanship over clout. Clout expires. Craft compounds. Build in public only what you can defend in private. Do the scary thing before noon. By lunch you will feel 10 ft taller. Stare at the numbers. Narrative is a fog machine. Take compliments as data, not as food. Use checklists. Memory is a liar under pressure. Keep a kill list of habits. Remove one each month. Treat sleep as strategy. Exhaustion is a tax on judgment. Stack small wins until they tip into inevitability. Be polite, be brief, be gone. Turn envy into study. Copy structure, not style. Hide rehearsals, reveal execution. Question, default settings. The factory rarely designs for outliers. Reward candor, punish ambiguity, refuse to explain jokes. Mystique survives silence. Ship on a schedule. Rhythm seduces fortune. Don't join every fight. Dominance selects battlefields. Use the phone when email drags. Speed beats cleverness. Be the calmest person in loud rooms and the quietest in calm rooms. Maintain a second brain offload to think on higher ground. Retire identities that no longer produce results. Value your attention like capital. Invest. Don't donate. Detach from outcomes you cannot control. Double down on inputs you can. Write your offers so clearly that yes becomes the easiest word. Treat compliments and insults as weather. Carry an umbrella of standards. Never outsource integrity. You cannot delegate your name. Replace someday with a date and a deliverable. Practice micro-solitudes. Think alone so you can move together. Make promises with math. Break illusions with evidence. Walk away from cheap drama. Distance is discipline. Keep your tools sharp and your schedule sharper. Speak last in meetings. The flaw is leverage. Default to action when the cost of waiting is compounding. Design your day to make the right thing the easy thing. Treat every rejection as a request for a better offer. Normalize hard. When hard is normal, luck feels loyal. When you feel small, build something big enough to carry you forward. When they push guilt, push boundaries. When they push fear, push facts. Upgrade your questions. Better questions mint better destinies. When in confusion, simplify the plan and shorten the timeline. Make resilience visible. Scars are banners for future allies. Now close your eyes and rehearse the decisive version of yourself walking into tomorrow. See the door that used to intimidate you. See your hand opening it. Hear the voice that once begged you to be softer. Hear yourself smile and enforce the boundary anyway. Watch a setback attempt to humiliate you. Watch yourself convert it into leverage the way a mill uses the river that once flooded the valley. Picture luck noticing your cadence. Early, exact, relentless, and deciding it is easier to travel with you than to resist. You feel the quiet pleasure of hard choices made without witnesses, the extra hour of practice, the unglamorous repetition, the refusal to bargain with fatigue. Imagine your future allies finding you not because you shouted, but because your results rang like steel against marble. Imagine your future enemies tiring themselves out trying to provoke you, only to discover that your standards are soundproof walls. Imagine the moment when a difficult invitation appears and you say yes before doubt buckles its armor. Then open your eyes and move. Move with the calm of someone who has already decided. Move with the posture of someone who will not be negotiated down from his own potential. Move with the audacity that turns probability in your favor. Luck is not a goddess to flatter, nor a lottery to worship. Luck is a climate that hardens around decisive men. You will look like a storm to the unprepared and like clarity to the prepared. Step forward not because it is safe, but because it is yours. Speak not to be adored, but to be understood. Build not to be seen, but to be sovereign. And when the world finally asks what changed, tell them the truth few dare to say aloud. You stopped waiting for fortune's permission and started living by a harder rule. Make yourself inevitable, and luck runs out of places to hide. From this moment, you treat chance as a subordinate, not a sovereign. And you teach your days to march under prepared audacity. Build mornings that intimidate your former self, and end nights with a ledger that does not flinch. Start small and aim heavy. One promise at dawn, one ask before noon, one boundary by dusk, one page that turns noise into signal. When fear speaks, narrow the window between thought and action until hesitation suffocates. Do not wait to feel brave. Behave brave and let feelings obey. Write 3 moves each morning and execute them before distraction. Keep your counsel tight and your standards tighter. Reward those who move without being chased. Remove those who sag the line. Remain unoffended by departures. Guard your schedule like a fortress. The gate opens for mission, not for mood. Say less, deliver more. Let work speak. Run a sovereign audit weekly. What did I promise? What did I deliver? What did I delay? What will I delete? Erase ceremonial tasks that polish nothing and replace them with repetitions that compound into inevitability. Judge weeks by the courage of attempts. Audacity trains on attempts like muscle on tension. Write the oath where you can see it. I act early. I act clean. I act again. I prize clarity over comfort, consequence over excuse, momentum over mood. I bend probability by preparing, pressing, persisting. I am polite to people and merciless to my weaknesses. I never sell standards to buy relief. I move in silence until movement makes the noise for me. When fortune appears as an opening, step through without ceremony. Opportunity is not a shrine, but a corridor to pass at speed. If doors close, build stairs. If maps end, scout forward. If applause distracts, lower the volume and raise the workload. If the path forks, choose the branch that multiplies options and pay the discomfort tax up front. This is how men become weather. They move with fronts of decision and pressure systems of purpose until rooms change temperature when they enter. Be that climate, the steady pressure that turns resistance into rain and noise into clear air. Walk now. Do not announce it. Do not negotiate it. Do not decorate it. One bold move before noon. One honest audit before sleep. Repeat it until the world calls you lucky, while your calendar tells the truth. Audacity first, tethered to preparation, sheathed in discipline, aimed by a mind that sees above the crowd. Rule yourself, rule the hours, and luck will learn your name. Move now. Go.